System. Due to the host's physical condition being too garbage and losing face with the system, automatic fusion of apps. 4869 isn't that right? Is the Hulk in Marvel tall, powerful, or green? Is this only green for me? Maori Lan. Ah. Surprisingly. Is it still green? Bumei. Zhang Hao, I fell in love with you at first sight. Sakata Yinshi. Zhang Hao, Sister Xiaolan, hold me. Ding, trigger an S.level mission and gain the favor of the 5 goddesses. Mouri Lan, completed, Bumei, unfinished, Shumoto Akihiro, unfinished, Suzuki Yuko, unfinished, and Far Mountain and Yi, unfinished. Zhang Hao is already confused. Who came up with such a task? The lack of integrity system is really lacking in integrity. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Fusion of Green Giant Serum and Maori Orchid. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 1. Fusion of Green Giant Serum and Maori Orchid. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. At this moment, he felt the darkness all around him. He was really sleepy and slowly closed his eyes. His name is Zhang Hao. He used to stay at home and watch the world of Hokage, but for some reason, he traveled to the world of Kashua and was bound to a divine-level Hokage system. System. Due to the host's physical condition being too garbage and losing face with the system, automatic fusion of apps. 4869, with a burst of mechanical sounds echoing in his mind, his body began to undergo changes. He felt his body starting to contract, but the proportion was not right. He looked down and it was okay, it was still so big, just turned green. Sir, what's wrong with you? Are you unable to find your mother? Where do you live at home? I'll take you home. Zhang Hao heard a woman's voice in a daze, eager and surprised, unable to hear anything specific. He only felt that his body was shrinking, but in some places it was getting bigger. Bulging. 1 minute later, his consciousness began to clear, and Zhang Hao looked at his body. The Hulk. That's not right. Is the green giant tall and powerful or green in Marvel? I only have certain places. Big or green? You. Who are you? At this point, the woman had already turned pale with fear. Ah. Surprisingly. So big. Surprisingly, it's still green. Oh my goodness. This is almost as thick as her thighs. Zhang Hao had slowly awakened at this moment, looking at the woman in front of him very familiar. Isn't this Maori Lan in the world of Kushue? It's okay for Maori Lan to remain silent. This sound came to Zhang Hao's ear and he instantly woke up. Not good. The green giant serum injected by this system has all fused into. Where is it going below? If these continue, they may explode and die. Maori Lan, may I borrow it from you? What? Zhang Hao's home was pitch black, and by this time, Maori Lan had already escorted him to the doorstep. Although Zhang Hao's body had shrunk, his strength was surprisingly strong. He grabbed Maori Lan and came into the house, completing a long night of conversation. On this destined extraordinary night she stared at Zhang Hao. And returned to normal at a speed visible to the naked eye. The next day. Zhang Hao slowly opened his eyes, unable to open them under the dazzling sunlight. The snow-white walls, bright windows, messy sheets, and the feeling of not seeing him last night made him suspect that he was dreaming. Life is like. If you can't resist, just lie down and enjoy it. Zhang Hao walked out of the room and saw a middle-aged man, who was Zhang Hao's father in the world of Kushue. He said, Zhang Hao, there's no need to go to school for classes this weekend. Did Dad see a woman come out of my room this morning? The man was momentarily taken aback, then said no. Maori Lan. If it's not a dream, why did she leave without saying goodbye? At this moment, a voice rang out in my mind. Congratulations on the activation of the host god-level Hokage system. As long as you complete the system task, you will be rewarded with mall coins, which can be exchanged for items in the system mall. Zhang Hao silently opened the mall in his heart, and suddenly, items appeared before his eyes. Chakra has been upgraded to the next level of tolerance. 500 mall coins. Chakra upgraded to medium endurance level. 1000 mall coins. Chakra level up to the highest tolerance level. 1500 mall coins. Obtain Uchiha Susukninghu. 3000 mall coins. Obtain the 1000-handed pillar immortal technique. 6000 city coins. Obtain 6 immortal bodies. 12,000 city coins. Obtain eternal kaleidoscope and reincarnation eye. 10,000 marketplace coins. This is placed in the world of Hokage, and it's a safe reverse of Kagaya. Unfortunately, he is now in the world of Kakushu. In this world, which is even more terrifying than Hokage, I am not yet at the beginner level in chakra. If I come across Kudo Shinichi, who goes wherever he goes or dies, I will feel cool again. Hey, let's hurry up and report to Emperor Dan's school now. If I don't go to Emperor Dan's school, how will I meet my mournful highness? With the approval of her parents, this cheap mother immediately contacted the school to help her son enroll as soon as possible. Chapter 2. Didan School, Class B, Grade 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After communicating with Cheap Mom, Zhang Hao went back to his room to practice chakra. The system has not given him any tasks recently, and he cannot take shortcuts. He can only practice honestly. The first time I came to Emperor Dan's school, the homeroom teacher had already asked teacher Xiao Wang to come to the school gate to receive Zhang Hao and his family. Quickly, my mother drove with Zhang Hao to the entrance of Emperor Dan's school. She touched his head and said, "Zhang Hao, go to school with teacher Xiao Wang obediently." Zhang Hao had a very shy expression, holding his mother's long legs and hiding behind her, revealing half of his head. An excellent ninja is good at disguising themselves, and before the big detective gets smaller, making a fortune in silence is the king's way. Zhang Hao saw that he was almost done, so he let go of his long legs holding his mother and took a deep breath, as if he had made a great decision. He said to teacher Xiao Wang, "Hello, my name is Zhang Hao. Please take good care of me." Teacher Xiao Wang took Zhang Hao's little hand and walked towards the class. It turned out that Xiao Jingtai's hand was so smooth and tender. "Teacher Xiao Wang, is there a burst of hormones?" At this moment, in Class B of the first grade, a group of little girls were happily discussing. Bumei said, "I heard a new classmate is coming today. I'm not sure if it's a boy or a girl." At this moment, teacher Xiao Wang and Zhang Hao walked into the classroom. The originally noisy classroom suddenly fell silent, but after a while, the classroom exploded. "Long Tao little sister A, wow, this new boy is so cute and handsome." "Long Tao little sister B, yes, I really like it." Teacher Xiao Wang said to Zhang Hao next to him, "It seems that you have already gained a lot of popularity since you first arrived." Zhang Hao walked to the back row, and he remembered that in the plot, Shinichi Kudo and His Highness AI were both sitting in the back row. The tower near the water was the first to receive the moon, and I would occupy this position first. At this moment, Zhang Hao was hiding alone in the back seat, ignoring the noise in the classroom. He was calming down and refining his chakra. Kudo Shinichi has not yet appeared in the world of Kushui, and the pit of Aoyama's old guy has not been filled yet. He doesn't know who the super big booze behind the scenes is or what kind of strength he has. Time passed, and a morning passed quickly. Zhang Hao felt like he had lost another drop of his chakra. He should be able to use the three-body technique tomorrow. At this moment, the system released a task, a limited-time task, and gained recognition from the Bear Children trio to join the youth detective team. Task reward. 30 mall coins. Task failed. 0 chakra. Time limit. 3 days. Zhang Hao felt a headache when he saw that the system wanted him to join the group of 3 people who died, which was a bit inappropriate for himself as a salted fish. But the punishment for failed tasks is too severe, let's give it a try. After taking a nap in the afternoon, Zhang Hao looked at the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on the blackboard, 3 plus 3, 2 by 3. He didn't know whether to cry or laugh. Now he was also a top student. Let's continue practicing, it's more interesting than listening to classes. At 5 o'clock, the bell rang for the end of school, and the originally honest elementary school students ran out of the school with joy, as if they had unsealed the seal. After practicing for a whole day, it was really tiring. Zhang Hao moved his body for a while, and he almost maintained a posture for the whole day without moving. At this moment, 3 little ghosts suddenly appeared. Zhang Hao, let's go play together or go home together, said the group of 3 children named Xiong. Okay, let's play for a while, and the group of 3 kids who get a satisfactory answer will immediately start discussing what to play with. Let's play a detective game, student Zhang Hao. The 3 of us are members of the youth detective team, said Mitsuhiko Yuantani. Yuan Tai quickly said, we are very powerful. I am the leader of the detective team, and I am the most powerful. Guanyan originally intended to refute, but glanced at Yuan Tai's huge physique and then withdrew his words from his mouth. Yuan Tai plays the role of a detective, Zhang Hao plays the role of a criminal, and Guanyan and Bumei play the role of police officers in the police station. In no time, Yuan Tai, the great detective, was fooled by Zhang Hao and couldn't find him. With just my intelligence, you little brats are no match for me. After playing for a while, Zhang Hao said, I also want to join the detective team, can I? The Bear Child trio immediately spoke up and said, of course we can. We will become good friends in the future, and Zhang Hao eventually joined the detective squad. 4 people walked out of the school gate together, and Zhang Hao saw Cheap Mom and her big sports car. Good boy, how did he feel on his first day at school? Now he doesn't have time to listen to his mother, he just sighs in his heart, this milk volume is a bit large. Sleeping trough, this is my cheap mother, you can't think recklessly. After saying goodbye to the trio of bear kids, Zhang Hao started talking to the system in his mother's sports car. Congratulations to the host for completing the limited time task. Reward 30 mall coins and 1/5 of the tolerance for chakra. Half a month later. Zhang Hao is already a fighter jet in Xiaoninzhong. The system opens the panel. Name. Zhang Hao. Level. Lower tolerance. Fighter in fighter, attribute. Water and thunder systems. Perseverance. 6, body 5, fantasy 5, spirit 80, out of 100, ninjutsu. 3 body technique. Mall coins. 30 pieces. Special items. None. Comment. The fighter jet in Xiaoninzhong can only bully the trio of bear children at this moment. Zhang Hao saw the system's evaluation and ignored it directly. When I exchanged it for Suzhua Ninghu, Zhujian Fairy Art and Eternal Kaleidoscope, I will teach you how to be a good person. What Zhang Hao didn't know was that there was a confused detective who was about to be beaten. Chapter 3. 100 million yen and the roller coaster murder case. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Weekend. My mother knew that Zhang Hao was going to the amusement park with a trio of bear kids, so she gave him 50,000 yen directly. It was more comfortable to be a wealthy second generation, and killing would be useless. Just met at the amusement park. Yuan Tai. Go play with carousels and bumper cars. Bumei. I want to take a roller coaster ride. Guanyan. The roller coaster is too scary, I dare not ride it. Zhang Hao. Dance and play to your heart's content. My mom gave me 50,000 yen. At this moment, Zhang Hao's pupils at the ticket office shrank and he saw Xiaolan and Shinichi Kudo, both of whom had arrived at the amusement park. The thought of that night's Maori Lan Zhang Hao stirred up his emotions. At this moment, Bumei and the others also saw Kudo Shinichi and ran over directly. Wow! Big brother, you're the very famous high school detective, Shinichi Kudo, the trio shouted loudly. Zhang Hao said directly to Shinichi Kudo, Big brother, your girlfriend is so beautiful. What's your name, little sister? Little brother, my name is Xiaolan. As she looked at Zhang Hao, she thought of the ups and downs of that night. Her small face was extremely shy. I am not his girlfriend, we are just ordinary friends. After finishing speaking, Xiaolan took Kudo's hand and greeted Zhang Hao and the others, then went to take the roller coaster. Zhang Hao looked at the 8 positions on this train, 4 of which were ordinary people, but one of them had to hang up, and the plot remained unchanged. It seems that Kudo is destined to become smaller. Sure enough, soon after, the roller coaster entered the tunnel and screams came from behind. When the roller coaster returned to its starting point, the people on the platform also screamed, and the trio saw a headless man, trembling with fear. Some timid people were scared unconscious. Zhang Hao knew that the famous high school detective was about to start pretending to be coerced. In order not to affect him, he took Xiaolan's hand and walked to a corner. Just as he was thinking about doing something, the system released a task. Ding! The host triggers a hidden task, Black eats black. The host needs to successfully swallow 100 million yen of gin and vodka without causing black tissue. Task reward: 40 mall coins and 2/5 chakras for the lower tolerance. Task failed. The host will be pursued by the black organization. Nima, if he fails this time, not only will his identity be exposed, but he will also implicate his cheap parents. At that moment, Zhang Hao tied his hands and turned into vodka. He came to the chairman of the weapons company and saw Zhang Hao transform into vodka, saying, Hey, what's wrong with you? You're an hour late. Hand me the film. Zhang Hao didn't have any negatives, and in order not to expose them, he said, Where's the money? I need to see the money first. This is 100 million yen, now it's time to give me the film. Zhang Hao pretended to be picking up the film in his arms when he suddenly struck a knife and knocked out the chairman. He dragged him to a deserted place and then used a transformation technique to transform into the chairman's appearance. Picking up a branch and attaching a chakra, I saw the branch turn into a suitcase filled with Japanese yen. Just as Zhang Hao and others were impatient, vodka appeared. Zhang Hao said to the vodka in the words of the chairman of the weapons company at the beginning, What's wrong with you? You're actually late for over an hour. Don't be nervous, didn't I come here? Did I bring the money? Zhang Hao handed over a suitcase made from tree branches. After seeing the money, vodka gave him the dirty film. Zhang Hao saw the end of the transaction and quickly left the scene. Nima, I was exposed later and the transformation spell was lifted, Zhang Hao gasped for breath. After a while, he saw Jin holding an iron rod and giving Kudo Shinichi a stuffy stick. Zhang Haoguang felt pain just as he was about to administer apps .4869 to Kudo Shinichi, when he suddenly looked towards Zhang Hao's hiding place. Startled, Zhang Hao quickly lowered his head, remained motionless, and lay down in his groove. This perceptual power caught up with Zhongren. He is so far away from Qinjiu that he can feel that someone is peeping at him. It seems that I underestimated the people in the world of Kushui. Fortunately, this mission was not a tough one, otherwise Xiaoming might have been assigned. Chapter 4. Goodbye Maori Lan, I am very talented. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 4. Goodbye Maori Lan, I am very talented. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 4. Goodbye Maori Lan, I am very talented. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chinjo, what's wrong? Is there anyone nearby? Vodka saw Chinjo suddenly nervous and thought something was happening nearby. Chinjo looked at Zhang Hao's hiding place and said after a long time, maybe I'm feeling dizzy. I always feel like someone is peeping at us. Hurry up and get rid of this detective. I saw Jin feeding Katsuki Kudo with apps .4869 and pouring white unidentified liquid into his mouth. Goodbye to the detective, and then quickly left here. After a moment, Shinichi Kudo felt that his body was about to melt, and then he fainted. Chinjo and Vodka were sitting in an Audi car when Zhang Hao released the change spell as they were about to arrive at the base. With a bang, a white mist rose and Vodka and Jin opened the car window at the speed of light. After the white mist dissipated, the Jin and Vodka looked blankly at the 100 million yen in their hands, completely turning into a withered twig. Just as Chinjo was lost in thought, Zhang Hao walked up to the unconscious chairman of a weapons company and put the film into his pocket. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the hidden task. Obtain a reward of 3/5 of the chakra and 40 coins. Suddenly, a surge of energy surged into Zhang Hao's body, which was indescribable and even more satisfying than forks and forks. System open panel, name. Zhang Hao. Level. Lower ninja, intermediate level, attribute. Water system, thunder system. Qualifications. Ninja 11, body 6, fantasy 9, spirit 74, out of 100, mall coins. 70 pieces. Ninjutsu. Free body technique. Special items. None. Comment. You can only bully the vegetable chicken among the young people in society. It's so much stronger than the vegetable chicken, and even with this system, it's so useless. You're a complete loser. Zhang Hao directly chose to ignore the evaluation of the system. Humming a tune, he returned to the amusement park. The group of 3 bear kids, who were quite loyal, were still waiting for Zhang Hao to come back. After a brief inquiry, the 3 little ghosts went back to their respective homes, with only Zhang Hao and Xiaolan walking towards the tram station together. Zhang Hao pretended to be stunned and said, Xiaolan, where's the man you were with just now? Why didn't you see him with you? After parting ways with Shinichi Kudo, Mouri Lan had a very bad feeling, as if he would never come back. That man deserves to be a bachelor, Xiaolan. You're so beautiful. Maori Lan was amused by Zhang Hao and even asked him if he was single. Single Wang. It's a rare breed that dies alone. Puff. Just as Zhang Hao was chatting and laughing with Maori Lan, the college detective lying on the ground woke up. Kudo Shinichi. How come these 2 fools keep staring at me? Patrol A, little brother, why are you lying here? Is there a suspicious person attacking you? Patrol B, holding a walkie-talkie, he contacted headquarters and said, this is Mihuating Road. There is a little brother who seems to have been attacked with an iron rod. Little brother. Kudo was a bit confused when he suddenly realized that his clothes were several times bigger. Kudo Shinichi, had all become a little brother. At this moment, Zhang Hao is chatting with Maori Lan in the Maoli Detective Agency. Zhang Hao learned from Mouri Kagoro that his cheap parents were all influential figures. Why can't I just meet a tycoon? My daughter's luck is so good. I'm really sorry for myself, maybe it's right for Ingli to leave me. Mouri Kagoro was feeling sad alone, while Zhang Hao and Mouri Lan were playing some games. Zhang Hao began to transform. He grew older. Still green. Amazing, so amazing. Time passed rapidly, and half an hour later, Zhang Hao bid farewell to Mouri Lan. After returning home when Zhang Hao withdrew 100 million yen, the system spoke. The system has detected that the host has 100 million yen and has activated the Krypton Gold mode with spatial functionality. It is recommended that the host recharge the system with 60 million yen. The system will reward 5 square meters of storage space, which can be used to store any item. You can have storage space for 60 million yuan in a year of extravagance. Don't hesitate, recharge quickly. The system is really ungrateful. It's completely a garbage trap of some game companies. Zhang Hao asked again what the system's cryptocurrency function is. System introduction. The Krypton Gold function is simple and easy to understand, which is a blind box lottery. Super blind box lottery. 200 million yen once. Advanced blind box lottery. 100 million yen per draw. Intermediate blind box lottery. 50 million yen per draw. Ordinary blind box lottery. 10 million yen per draw. The higher the level of the blind box, the higher the chance of winning the top prize. Blind box items are random items in the system mall. Friendly reminder from the system, there is absolutely no good thing in the regular lottery function of the Krypton Gold feature, and even a super lottery may not necessarily open good things. System. Open the attribute panel to add the lucky value function. Name. Zhang Hao. Level. Lower tolerance. Intermediate stage attribute. Water system, thunder system. Qualifications. Ninja 11, Body 6, Fantasy 9, Spirit 74, out of 100, mall coins. 70 pieces. Special items. None. Lucky value. 7, 6 out of 30 for ordinary people, comment. Lucky little vegetable chicken, still so vegetable chicken. He exchanged 60 million yuan for 5 square meters of storage space, with the remaining 40 million yuan in 4 regular lucky draws. Congratulations to the host for obtaining. Soldier Grain Pill X3, Painless X2, Thunder Escape. Thousand Birds X1, Fire Attribute Fragments X1, collecting 10 can exchange for Fire Attribute, Maori Orchid Original Flavor Small. Pants X1 inch. Due to the host's first lottery system giving away one prize, Zhang Hao looked at the items drawn by the ordinary 4 consecutive draws and felt a bit depressed. He had nothing in his hand, and the military food pills in his pocket. What made him most frustrated was that there was also a small strawberry on the ground. And an indescribable puddle of water in the middle. Your system is really full of functions. Should I say you're too lewd? Even small pants can be used for a lottery. Zhang Hao put all these things in the storage space. He originally wanted to throw away his small pants. But the system does say that this original pair of pants has been bound to him and cannot be discarded as a special item. Zhang Hao gritted his teeth and confirmed the lottery presented by the system. Congratulations to the host for obtaining. Premium item, Thunder Sword, quality artifact. Lying in bed, Zhang Hao was extremely lucky when he finally drew a divine weapon, and now he cannot unleash the power of this sword. I also threw the Thunder Sword into the storage space and used up all my savings. Hee. This 100 million is really impressive. You guys are really good people. You can go grab some more Chin wine when you have time. If not, borrow it. How could a scholar grab it? Do not do things that are disrespectful to refined manners. At this moment, Zhang Hao, who was in a good mood, hummed a tune and walked on his way home. Chapter 5. How could a famous detective do this? You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Zhang Hao returned home, he couldn't help but be spoiled by his mother. After taking a shower and lying in bed, Zhang Hao thought that tomorrow, a high school student named Detective, should be reporting to Emperor Dan's school. It's really an interesting thing. Zhang Hao had a cheap smile on his lips, and with this cheap smile, he fell asleep. The next day, in Class B of the first grade, 3 little ghosts started discussing with Zhang Hao again. Zhang Hao, I heard that there is a second transfer student coming to our class today, said Bumei. Yeah. There will be another new classmate in the class, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl." Guanyan looked up and remembered. Zhang Hao, feeling a bit speechless, he yawned and knew who it was. There is no sense of mystery, it seems that knowing too much is not good. After a while, teacher Xiao Wang walked in with a little boy wearing a blue suit and a bow tied around his neck. "Hello everyone, my name is Shinichi Kudo. Please give me more guidance in the future." Zhang Hao looked at Edogawa Konan on the podium and thought of himself not long ago. Watching this girl like Konan act cute on the podium, between 0 and countless times. Zhang Hao shuddered and quickly extinguished the thoughts in his mind. However, when Konan arrived in Class B of the first grade, although he did not cause a great sensation like Zhang Hao, he was still considered a very popular person. It's probably love at first sight, according to legend. When Bumei saw Shinichi Kudo, her liking immediately increased. This guy has been missing for so long, and Maori Lan is already my person. This beautiful woman, I have to say that this guy has suffered a great loss. Edogawa Konan chose a row of seats in front of Zhang Hao, which was also an elegant seat for one person. Kudo Shinichi looked at the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on the blackboard, and immediately lost his fighting spirit. Zhang Hao saw him like this and suddenly wanted to tease him. He picked up paper and pen, brushed and wrote a high school geometry problem, and then pretended not to be able to solve it. I patted Konan in front and said, "Konan, I can't do this question. Can you help me?" Konan turned around and saw Zhang Hao, who seemed to be the little boy he was solving the roller coaster case that day. However, he remained confident and said, "What question?" "Let me take a look, I can probably help you." "Okay. Thank you, Konan." Zhang Hao humbly handed the high math questions to Konan. Kudo Shinichi initially became interested in Zhang Hao's geometry problems. "This interesting question is not difficult for me. 5 minutes later, this question seems to be toxic, how can we calculate it and feel like it's wrong? There are actually 6 answers." Konan has also studied geometric mathematics, but this question is clearly deliberately made difficult by Zhang Hao. 10 minutes later, Konan gave up. Is Zhang Hao so terrifying? Let's start doing geometric numbers now. However, in order to maintain his image, Konan could only turn to Zhang Hao and say, "Zhang, we are not required to know how to do this question. It is a super difficult one." Konan didn't notice Zhang Hao's teasing gaze, and Zhang Hao said to Konan, "Is it super difficult?" "I don't feel like it. I already knew the answer earlier. So I had a conversation with Konan and finally came up with the answer." Konan was only thinking about one question, and Zhang Hao was so skilled. Zhang Hao dealt a blow to Konan, and he began to cultivate himself again, after a long time. Starting from lunchtime, everyone is eating their own bento. The wealthy second generation is good, the bento prepared for themselves is too luxurious. Konan was quite miserable because Zhang Hao had been playing at Xiaolan's house for a long time yesterday. Xiaolan did not suddenly run to Dr. Agai's house like in the original work, looking for Konan. Therefore, this guy has not yet infiltrated the Maori detective agency. The bento prepared today was also helped by Dr. Agai. Dr. Ashi likes to study strange things, but let him cook, you can think for yourself. Konan was also speechless. Looking at other people's bentos, they were all super delicious. Looking at his own bento, he silently looked at them with a bitter melon face. Zhang Hao knew that Konan's lunch box was not very good, but he didn't share it either. He couldn't bear to see what his mother had made. After lunch, Zhang Hao continued his cultivation. His Highness Ai did not come, and Kudo Shinichi couldn't help but lie on the table sleeping. He really didn't want to find Konan. 5 hours later, it was time for Didan school to finish school. Bumei immediately rushed to Konan's side and said, "Konan, are you going to join our youth detective team? Shall we go home with you today?" Konan ignored them and ran away in a flash. Bumei, who was originally in a good mood, ran away when she saw Conan ignoring her. She immediately curled up her small mouth and tears rolled in her eyes. Seeing this scene, Zhang Hao was fortunate that there was no crazy editor in this world, otherwise he would have been shocked. High school detective Shinichi Kudo actually made his female classmate cry in anger. Zhang Hao felt depressed when he thought of those headlines, but Bumei and the three of them secretly followed Conan onto the same bus and finally arrived at Dr. Agai's house. So this is Conan's home. Knowing his address, we can go home together in the future, the three of them said enthusiastically. But soon it was discovered that something was wrong, and Conan was kicked out. Dr. Ashikaga asked him to go to the Mouri detective office to investigate if there were any clues about feeding the black-clad members of APTX.4869 to Kudo Shinichi. A group of 4 saw Kudo Shinichi being kicked out and quickly followed him up. This time, Conan came to the Maori detective agency. When Zhang Hao was about to leave, he seemed to see a beautiful woman, Miss Yoko Ono. Chapter 6. Yoko Okano and the Chamber of Secrets murder case. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hello, Zhang Hao, how could Ms. Yoko possibly go to a detective agency? The 3 little ghosts looked like you were teasing me. Mori Kagoro pushed open the door and suddenly saw the woman outside who looked exactly like the action female celebrity on TV. Mori Kagoro immediately turned around and ran back to the room. In less than 2 seconds, he changed into a handsome suit, even with a layer of hair wax on his hairstyle. Zhang Hao, who was hiding in a corner, couldn't help but sigh when he saw the dressing speed of Mori Kagoro, saying, "It seems that Mori Kagoro and Kudo Shinichi have a common interest. They are both so fast, deserving of being second men." At this moment, Mori Kagoro, dressed in a suit, said in a low and magnetic voice, "This beautiful lady, but what trouble is there? Detective Mori Kagoro is dedicated to serving you." Yoko Okano looked at the despicable little Goro and said, "Yoko has been peeped by strangers recently, and has received several letters with pictures and even silent phone calls. Miss Yoko was actually spied upon by someone." Kagoro Mori decided to immediately go to Yoko Okano's house to gain a deeper understanding. At present, Mouri Lan said that I also want to see what an idol family looks like, and with the addition of Shinichi Kudo, I will definitely not let go of such things. Hey Shinichi Kudo, the god of death, and a little Goro, the god of death, it's hard not to die. Zhang Hao was ready to go home, but the 3 of them got into the trunk of the Chonye Yoko car. Bumei kept blinking at Zhang Hao, clearly indicating that he had to hurry inside. It's impossible at all. I don't know how to drill into the trunk, so I ignored the death trio and went straight to Mori Kagoro. Miss Xiaolan, do you miss me? Where are you going? I want to come with you. After Zhang Hao finished speaking, he ran to Maolilan's side. Maori Xiaolan saw Zhang Hao come to play with Xiaolan again and did not say anything to refuse. After all, his family has strong strength, and if Xiaolan were to take Zhang Hao to the next level, it would be greatly beneficial for her future development. However, Yoko Okano's agent was very unhappy. He had originally intended for Kagoro Mori to investigate the incident, but now he not only brought his own daughter, but also 2 little ghosts. Mori Kagoro saw that his agent's face was not very good, and he whispered to hedge against Yoko Nodo. Miss Yoko, his name is Zhang Hao and he comes from a strong family background. His father is known as the chairman of Asia Soros Green Star Energy Company, and you should all know it. Then his mother doesn't need me to say more. It's like in China, Zhang Hao is a certain Sikong, while Yoko Okano is a female celebrity, and the identity gap lies there. In the eyes of Wang Mulan and Ma Yun, the big star is like an actress. Yoko Okano's car was a bit small and crowded with 6 people. In the end, he decided to let the 2 children sit on the adult's lap. Okano Yoko and Mouri Lan each hugged each other. Originally, Zhang Hao was supposed to sit on Okano Yoko's lap, which could bring them closer and make this wealthy second generation happy. Yoko would turn red and purple. Unexpectedly, Zhang Hao only looked into Mouri Lan's arms, and Xiaolan also liked Zhang Hao very much. As for Kudo Shinichi, the second fruit was ignored. In Maori Lan's eyes, Zhang Hao now has much higher appearance than Kudo Shinichi. A group of people got into the car, with Mouri Lan and Yoko Okano sitting in the back row, each with a mascot on their lap. Zhang Hao was enjoying being held by Mouri Lan, while Kudo Shinichi was sitting on Yoko Okano's lap, daydreaming. He just didn't expect that Zhang Hao had contact with the Mouri family. Judging from the appearance of Mouri Kagoro, he should know his background. Kudo Shinichi was very unhappy when he saw Zhang Hao sitting on Mouri Lan's lap, but he thought he was a little kid. Plus, the place he is currently sitting in is a crazy spot for countless otaku, so it's still me who made a profit. If Shinichi Kudo had known Zhang Hao's true age, he probably wouldn't have been so calm, but unfortunately, he didn't. Gotcha, Zhang Hao, why did you secretly take a photo of me? Zhang Hao saw Kudo Shinichi's fishy eyes and chuckled, don't be so serious, it's just that you're special to Miss Yoko now. Take a photo as a souvenir. When Kudo Shinichi grows up, how meaningful this photo is. Is that right, my little Lan? Upon hearing Zhang Hao's words, Kudo Shinichi felt something was going wrong as he thought about it. Suddenly, he heard that Zhang Hao even wanted to leave a photo for Mouri Lan. As a detective, he immediately felt something was wrong. In the future, when she grew up, Maori Lan realized that she was Conan. When she saw this photo, she sat on the lap of another woman, still enjoying herself. Maori Lan's fist is not a joke. If she punches me, that will be the end of my life. This Zhang Hao is clearly trying to trick me. Zhang Hao, you are a devil. Chapter 7. The corpse in Yoko Okano's room. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kudo Shinichi thought of the terrifying look on Mouri Lan's angry face and immediately requested Zhang Hao to delete the photo. Kudo Shinichi, you're really boring, so you secretly kept one, said Zhang Hao, the ghost elf. It's already around 1,000 episodes, and Kudo Shinichi's desire to become bigger is still far from certain. When he grows up, Zhang Hao holds first-hand information and exclusive black material for high school famous detectives. It's hard not to become a sensation. Quickly, they arrived at Yoko Okano's upscale apartment and immediately went upstairs. The three little ghosts in the trunk also jumped out. Zhang Hao, this guy, actually knows people from the Maori family, causing us to have to drill into the trunk. It's so despicable, said Guanyan. A few little ghosts also ran up the stairs. Outside the room, just as Yoko Okano opened the door, a dead body appeared in front of everyone. The screams of Yoko Ono, Mouri Lan, and the trio of suicide echoed through the entire room, deafening. Mouri Kagoro immediately took out his phone and called the police station. However, Shinichi Kudo discovered a problem. At the moment when the body appeared, only himself and Zhang Hao, the agent, and Kagoro Mouri did not scream. Even if the agent did not scream, he still had a fearful expression. Uncle Mouri was a detective, and I was a detective. I had become accustomed to such scenes. On the other hand, Zhang Hao's face was calm, as if accustomed to life and death. Kudo Shinichi thought to himself that Zhang Hao might also be a member of the black organization, right? After taking that APS .4869, come and monitor yourself, observe your condition after taking the medication, and then kill yourself. Kudo Shinichi was a bit puzzled by Zhang Hao's identity, and as a detective, he even began to suspect himself. A moment later, the Metropolitan Police Department arrived at the scene with the police from the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Station. The Metropolitan Police Department also conducted an investigation and questioning of the crowd at the scene. Zhang Hao knew the cause of this incident, which was that the deceased Fujiwara Yoshitaka mistakenly took Yuko Ikezawa, who debuted with Yoko Okano, as his girlfriend, and then committed suicide due to love and hatred, framing it for Yoko Okano. He's just a scumbag. I don't know how Yoko Okano liked him back then. At this moment, Shinichi Kudo at the scene felt as if he had seen a beautiful woman at the crime scene. He became excited and no longer thought about Zhang Hao's identity. At this moment, he only wants to solve the case in front of him. He truly deserves to be a detective. He doesn't want to die when solving the case. This case is a suicide incident, and Kagoro Mori successfully led Tokyo police officers into a maze. The forensic police officers found Yoko Ike's earrings at the crime scene, and the police quickly summoned Yoko Ike to the scene. After a moment, a hot and domineering woman walked in with extreme sarcasm and said, "Officer, I haven't killed anyone. This is my first time here." She also mocked Yoko Ono and walked alone towards the toilet. Just as Kudo Shinichi was searching for evidence, he was discovered by Kagoro Mori. Xiaolan shouted directly, "You little guy, don't walk around and destroy the scene at the crime scene." After saying that, he didn't forget to give him a love fist and threw it out of the door. Looking at Kudo Shinichi with a big bump on his head, Zhang Hao smiled unkindly. Kudo Shinichi looked at this suspicious guy mocking him, trying his best to suppress his anger. "I can't get angry, whoever gets angry will lose." Yuko Ikezawa, who came out of the toilet, picked up a novel lighter next to the table and lit a cigarette. Yoko Okano is involved in the murder case. If the murderer was her, wouldn't it be just me in the entertainment industry? Haha. Today is really my lucky day. Just as Yuko Chizawa was Zhang Hao said to Yuko Chizawa, "Little sister, you're amazing. You saw this lighter at a glance, and we haven't even noticed it yet." Upon hearing Zhang Hao's words, the Mu Police Department and Mouri Kagoro suddenly realized that how could anyone who came to this room for the first time immediately discover a lighter. Yuko Chizawa secretly thought to herself that she was not good. She had intended to install an X, but she had overdone it. However, since she had installed an X, she had to install it to the end. "Actually, I have a friend who gave me a lighter like this," Yuko Chizawa quickly explained. "Miss Yoko, I want to use the restroom." "Where is the restroom?" Zhang Hao asked with a look of urgency. Kudo Shinichi was just about to remind the Momu Police Department and them, but he didn't expect that this line was spoken by Zhang Hao first. Is this guy intentional? Is it really urgent to urinate and want to go to the bathroom? As Yuko Chizawa couldn't bear to pretend anymore, she said, "A few days ago, she stole the backup key from Yoko Okano's house and quietly sneaked into Yoko Okano's house to search for some black material. But she was suddenly hugged by a burly man who appeared from behind, and she tried her best to break free." When Kudo Shinichi heard about his muscular figure, Yuko Ikezawa also stood up and looked at her back. Kudo Shinichi knew the truth of the case very well. At this moment, Zhang Hao, who walked out of the bathroom, also witnessed the birth of a miracle. "I saw Kudo Shinichi kick a piece of iron board away with one foot, just in time to hit Mouri Kagoro. Mouri Kagoro immediately rolled his eyes to the ground and couldn't get up. I saw Zhang Hao take out his camera and record this scene with a click sound. How dare you kick Maori Lan's father like this, little one? Look at me and don't tell Xiaolan Lan. Hee hee.